ENEACRO Polisher promises pro-level paint correction at a budget price. Either we have finally hit detailing heaven, or we are one bad pass away from destroying your clear coat. On paper, it sounds insane for the money. A 1200W motor, 7 and 6-inch backing plates, 6 variable speeds from around 1500 to 3500 RPM, safety lock, soft start, and a whole pile of pads and sandpapers in the box. But here is the thing. When a kit shows up this loaded and this cheap, something usually gives. And after actually running this on my own car, a black test panel and a friend's daily over 2 solid weeks, I found the cracks in the story. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after those 2 weeks of testing. Let's set expectations first. ENEACRO markets this as a powerful but beginner-friendly rotary polisher that can handle car paint, boats, floors, even metal, without much risk or learning curve. The big promises are fast scratch and swirl removal, almost pro-dealer results at home, stable RPM with constant power tech, even under heavy pressure, low vibration, ergonomic design for long sessions without fatigue, a complete all-in-one kit, so you do not need to buy extras. Sounds pretty tempting, right? A full correction setup in one box for less than a single pro detail. But here is where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim fast, safe scratch removal and swirl-free results. What you actually get is a very aggressive rotary that can correct quickly, but also heats up paint and holograms it if you are not careful. Let's be real. A pure rotary at this price is not magically beginner-friendly. On my black test panel, one medium-speed pass with firm pressure at speed 5 knocked out moderate swirls, and left noticeable holograms that needed a follow-up refining step with a different machine. That is not plug-and-play. That is a learning curve. They claim constant power control. What you actually get is inconsistent RPM at the lower settings. Under light pressure, speeds 1 and 2 felt jumpy. The pad would momentarily surge when I leaned in, then bog, then surge again. That makes it harder to maintain consistent cut, especially on curves and bumpers. On flat panels at higher speeds it was fine, but the marketing suggests some magical electronics keeping everything perfectly stable. It is not that. It is just a basic speed controller. They claim low vibration and ergonomic comfort. The reality, it is decent for short jobs, but this thing is not a featherweight. After doing half a hood and a door, my wrist and forearm definitely knew I was using a 1200W rotary. The D-handle helps, but the body gets warm near the front, and the trigger lock is a bit awkward if you have smaller hands. Could you do a whole car? Sure. Will you love life after 3 hours? Probably not. They also push the idea that it is a complete kit. This is where it gets mathematically impossible. You are getting multiple foam pads, wool pads, sandpaper discs, handles, backing plates, and the machine for about the price many brands charge just for a quality backing plate and a couple of pro pads. Something has to give, and it is the accessories. After one full car, one of the included foam pads started to delaminate at the edge, and the wool pads shed like crazy. I even found a couple of reviews saying the same thing. Great machine for the price, but plan on buying better pads. And here is the plot twist. A lot of these inexpensive rotary polishers are basically rebranded generics. I dug deeper across multiple investigation sites and found near-identical housings under different brand names with slightly different logos and accessory bundles. That is not automatically bad, but it explains the mix of glowing reviews and horror stories about early failures and noisy gears. You are playing tech roulette more than the marketing admits. Let's break down the key parts. Power and control. The 1200W motor actually pulls strong. On higher speeds with a decent pad, it will chew through oxidation and heavy swirls faster than a cheap dual action. I was able to correct a neglected hood in about 20 minutes that would have taken closer to 40 with a mild DA. But here is what nobody tells you. Rotary power cuts both ways. More heat, more edge risk, more chance of burning through on thin repaints. The soft start helps, but this is still a tool that demands respect. Ergonomics and build quality. The housing feels solid enough, no obvious flex, and the trigger is responsive. Noise level is what you expect from a rotary. Not insane, but you will not want to run it in a closed garage without ear protection for hours. The cord is on the shorter side compared to premium units, so expect to drag an extension around. Long-term durability is the big question mark. Some users report months of use with no issues. Others mention gear whine or switch problems after a few heavy details. That inconsistency screams budget components and loose quality control. Accessories and pads. The marketing photos make the kit look criminally generous. Multiple colors of foam, wool, sanding discs. But what the marketing does not mention is that many of these pads are single-use or beginner-use quality. They are fine for your first experiment on an old beater or a work truck, but if you value your paint, you will quickly upgrade to name-brand pads and compounds. Once you mentally remove the value of the included pads, the deal looks less insane and more just okay. User reviews and red flags. When I scanned through the reviews, a pattern emerged. Tons of 5-star ratings with vague praise, then a chunk of 3-star reviews that actually tell the truth. Good power but heavy. Pads are trash, not for true beginners. Some of the perfect reviews read like copy-paste fluff, which always makes me suspicious of review stuffing. When a product with obvious compromises has near-perfect scores, you should raise an eyebrow. Here is my verdict. Should you skip the ENEACRO polisher, buy with caution, or jump on it? I would say, buy with caution and only if you know what you are getting into. Pros. Legit power for the price, enough build quality for occasional DIY use, and a kit that lets you start testing right away. Cons. Aggressive rotary behavior that can bite beginners, inconsistent accessories, possible quality control lottery, and a learning curve the sales page downplays. If you are a beginner who wants truly idiot-proof paint correction, save your money for a good dual-action polisher. If you already understand rotary technique and just want a cheap backup or occasional use machine, this can make sense. Just budget for better pads and compounds. Stay smart, not swirled. Thanks for hanging out with me on this deep dive. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you figure out if the ENEACRO polisher is actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more real reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to grab it through my link, it helps fund more of these no-nonsense tool investigations without costing you extra. Drop a comment with the next product you want me to tear apart. Hit like if you enjoy brutally honest reviews, and make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next investigation. Until then, keep your paint sharp and your wallet sharper.